You ever just feel kind of disconnected? Like you're caught up in your own head, living in this world of thoughts and ideas, but you're not really connected to the ground under your feet. Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into today. We're looking at this really cool idea for finding some balance in our, let's be honest, pretty chaotic lives. It's called nine-legged intelligence, and trust me, it's all about finding a much deeper, more harmonious way to exist.
All right, to kick things off, let me ask you a little riddle. If you call a dog's tail a leg, how many legs does a dog have? Now, I bet your first thought, your logical brain, probably jumped to 5, right? I mean, it makes sense with language. But here's the thing. Just because you call a tail a leg, that doesn't actually make it a leg. The dog, it still has 4. And this little brain teaser, it actually gets to the very heart of this huge conflict in how we see the world.
And see, this clash between what we say something is and what it actually is, that's not just a cute riddle. It's really at the core of this modern feeling of, unease, this separation from the natural world. The source material actually has a name for it, earth misery. And it's that feeling, that stress and imbalance, that happens when we're living way too much up in our heads and not enough in our bodies and in the real world around us. Sound familiar? So, okay, where is this disconnect even coming from? Well, according to the source material, it all boils down to 2 totally different ways of knowing the world. Think of them as 2 modes of thought that are constantly pulling us in opposite directions. Okay, so on one side, you've got what we're going to call 5-legged thinking. This is like our human superpower, right? It's our intellect, our language, the way we tell stories and think about abstract stuff. This is the part of your brain that heard the riddle and immediately went 5. But then, on the other side, you have 4-legged thinking. This is nature's wisdom. It's all about direct experience, what you can see, what you can touch, the observable facts. It's that undeniable gut feeling that says, nope, a dog has 4 legs, and that's just how it is, no matter what words you use. And this isn't just theory. There's a perfect example from history. Check this out. Aristotle, the famous philosopher, thought a fly had 8 legs, and he wrote it down. And for centuries, I'm not kidding, centuries, scholars just quoted him. They took his word for it. Not a single one of them apparently thought, maybe I should just go, catch a fly and count its legs. It's wild, right? It just goes to show you how easily our stories and our systems, our 5-legged thinking, can blind us to the simple 4-legged truth that's literally buzzing right in front of our faces. So if these 2 ways of thinking are always at odds, what do we do? What's the answer? Well, the point isn't to pick a side. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about finding a balance, a middle path. And it turns out, this is something ancient wisdom traditions have been talking about for thousands of years. Take the Buddha, for instance. He taught something called the middle way as the path to end suffering. And it wasn't about going to extremes. Not total indulgence, not total self-denial, but finding harmony right in the middle. You could almost say it's a path that keeps us from getting completely lost in our 5-legged stories while also making sure we don't ignore our real physical 4-legged reality. It's just about seeing things as they actually are without all the extra noise. And this isn't just a Buddhist thing. You see this same core idea of finding balance all over the world. In Hinduism, it's about remembering our true self is part of this absolute reality. In the Lakota tradition, they use ceremonies specifically to bring people back into balance with nature. Taoism is all about harmonizing with the natural flow of the cosmos. So the big takeaway here is that this hunt for balance, it's a deeply human, universal thing. So here's a map from Hindu philosophy that kind of lays out this journey. Now, don't worry about trying to read all the tiny details here. That's not the point. Just look at the general flow. It shows a path starting at the bottom with our conditioned experience, our regular day-to-day life with all its thoughts and feelings, and it moves up toward unconditioned experience, or supreme consciousness. The key thing to see is that it's a journey of integration. It's about understanding how all these different parts of who we are can fit together into one big unified whole. All right, so we've got these 2 different ways of thinking, right? The 5-legged and the 4-legged. And we have all this ancient wisdom telling us to find a balance. So the big question is, how do we actually do that? How do we make this practical for our lives today? Well, this is where a really powerful new idea comes into play. It all starts with this super simple math. It's not 5 times versus 4, it's 5 plus 4. See, when we combine our amazing human intellect with that direct sensory wisdom from nature, you don't get a conflict. You get something totally new, a synthesis. You get 9. And that brings us to the big idea, 9-legged intelligence. So what is it? It's that higher level of understanding you get when you stop letting your abstract, five-legged brain just run the show all the time. Instead, you integrate it with your real, sensory, four-legged connection to the world. I want to be super clear. The goal is not to get rid of our intellect. It's about grounding it in reality. It's about using our books to supplement what we learn from nature, not the other way around.
And this is a really, really important point. The goal here is not to become some kind of stone Buddha, cold, unfeeling, totally detached from everything. It's actually the complete opposite. It's about becoming more fully human. It's about using our entire capacity for both thought and feeling. I mean, some scientists say we have as many as 54 different senses. Imagine tapping into all of that to live in this amazing, dynamic state of balance.
Okay, so what does that actually look like? What does it feel like to live with this kind of nine-legged intelligence? Well, it leads to a massive shift in how you experience reality itself. And this quote really gets to the heart of that shift. When you start to see the world through a nine-legged lens, you realize that nature doesn't really do prejudice or repulsion. It's just this constant dance of attractions, stronger or weaker. Think about it. Even something we see as negative, like fear, what is it really? It's just a super powerful attraction towards staying alive, towards survival. And when we adopt this new perspective, we can become what the source material calls Earth avatars. It means we stop thinking of ourselves as somehow separate from nature or as its masters, here to control it. Instead, we start living as what we are, conscious, integrated parts of this incredible web of life, trying to act in harmony with the whole thing. So when you get right down to it, this whole path, it isn't about escaping your life. It's about returning to it, but in a much fuller, richer way. It's a journey back to what actually matters, finding a deep, real sense of harmony with the natural world, with the people in our lives, and yeah, most importantly, with our own true selves. So, I'll leave you with this question. Our world, our society, it trains us day in and day out to listen almost exclusively to our five-legged abstract minds. But what would happen if we started to consciously, deliberately listen to that four-legged wisdom, the wisdom of all our senses? What could we learn? What might change if we truly started to embrace this nine-legged intelligence? Maybe, just maybe, that's where the path back to harmony begins.